Are you thinking it's time to change things in your life, but you think it's too late? Today we're talking about it's never too late to turn around on this episode of Coffee with Tea. Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of Coffee with Tea. I'm your host, Tonia and Tyler, and I'm excited because we're going to be talking to a freelance writer and a freelance writer coach. Her name is Quiana Darden, and she's going to bring us in on what we can do about change. You're never too late to turn around. So without further ado, I'd like to bring on Miss Quiana Darden. And first of all, you look fabulous, my dear. Thank you for coming to the show.
I'm so glad to be here. I'm glad you're having me today.
Oh, it was a pleasure to talk to you.
Excuse me.
I know I saw you on Facebook and I was like, you know what? Got to reach out to talk to her. So thank you again for your time. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah.
And so I always like to give a little intro, like how are you handling the COVID-19, and you can segue into like who you are and how it came about this. So this is your platform. Go ahead, it's yours. Tell us how everything's going.
I feel like, excuse me, I don't have a tickle in my throat right now. So with COVID, I feel like I'm handling it fairly well, considering everything. So before COVID, I was already working at home full time. I was already homeschooling my daughter. So I don't feel like life has changed too much in terms of those types of things, which are two of the major things that people are, I feel like, struggling with COVID. But yeah, that's how things are going right now.
It's good. It's good. Like you said, you're a freelance writer, so you didn't have to really like transition too far to working at home. You've already you've been doing it. So you said you homeschool your daughter. So how did that really like come about? Where you're like, okay, I'm done working out and I want to work for myself. How did that come about for you?
So I initially was an elementary school teacher. I went back to school, got my master's degree. My goal was to be a school principal, so I was on that path. And then as my daughter got older, I realized that I wanted to homeschool her. And I knew that in homeschooling her the way I wanted to homeschool her, I didn't want to do it after I got off work as a teacher. I wanted to be home with her and, just do it and work from home full time. So I had to figure out how I could start a business that would allow me to work from home. And that's when I started freelance writing.
Right. So I know we're going to dive a little bit more into, changing and stuff like that. So how is what I always got to break it down for those who just not familiar with things. So you're a freelance writer and a freelance writer coach. What is that?
So a freelance writer, basically, I go out to companies and I ask them, what work do you need for your business in terms of writing? So some companies need blog posts, some of them need social media content, some of them need emails, some of them need like ebooks written. So it's just the different words that companies need. That's what I write for them. And I primarily write like blog posts that you will see, like when you type in Google, what is a reverse mortgage? Because I wrote a blog post about reverse mortgages for a credit union yesterday. That's the first thing that popped to my mind. Like the article that pops up, I would write that. So that's basically what I do as a freelance writer. And then as a freelance writing coach, I help aspiring freelance writers who want to either start their businesses or grow their businesses, do so. So I have a whole framework that I teach, and I have a freelance writing program that I take people through. So that's my business as a freelance writing coach as well.
Okay. So I mean, I know freelance writing, you have a specific niche, but I mean, you can teach people basically how to write them in general, correct?
Yeah, how to grow their writing businesses. So it's like the business side of writing, how to get clients, how to build your writer's website, how to get portfolio pieces so that you can pitch, how to send out pitches, how to organize your business, all of that good stuff.
Okay, great. And like I said, we're going to dive more into you're talking about it's okay to turn around. And I know I used to like to really ask, like, how did this become a near and dear topic for you?
Freelance writing?
No, being able to turn around, saying it's okay to change and stuff like that. So
that became, I think my daughter, or I know my daughter was the inspiration behind that. When I started to think about how much time I felt like I was spending away from her in her youngest years. I just didn't want that to be the continued like path as she got older. And so she was my motivation behind figuring out how I could, well, actually take a couple of steps back. Teaching, it thankfully wasn't too bad because I got off early and I had summers off and all of that. But to make more money, I was going to become a principal. So principals work year round, principals have longer hours. And I said, well, if I already don't want to spend time away from her, why am I going into a career that is going to require that I spend even more time away from her? And so that was my motivation. I said, well, even though I've already invested in getting my second degree, I'm going to go a different route. So that's why it's very near and dear to my heart, because it's based on the relationship that I wanted to have with my daughter and the, daily impact I wanted to have in her life. I wanted it to be greater than I was able to do as a teacher. And then even if I were to go into school administration, I wasn't going to be able to be present the way I wanted to.
So what for someone who's looking like want to spend more time, because we've had the time to be shut down and really, figure out what do we want and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What would your advice be for those who are thinking about, being an entrepreneur, going that route?
I would say to think about the type of business you want, because there are different ways to be an entrepreneur. Um, Specifically in the way that I built my business, and even the way that I teach other freelance writers how to build their businesses, is how to, I believe in making more in less time. So you can start a business as an entrepreneur and it can be like you're working a job. You're tied to your computer 24/7. You don't have time to like do anything else. You don't have time for like a social life. You feel like you're stressed out because you're always working to make that money. And if you don't want to be in constant hustle mode, then like identify that from the beginning. If you want to be in constant hustle mode and you're okay with that, then that's fine. Build a business based on that. But if you don't, then you want to make sure that you are very clear about the type of business that you want. And I would recommend that you don't have to have a business that you specifically are super passionate about and that you just love so much. Because I wouldn't say that writing is just like the thing that I'm the most passionate about in life. Actually helping children is what I'm most passionate about. But I left that because it wasn't allowing me to live the type of life that I wanted. And I'll figure out how to get back to that at some point, but I know I needed to make a change. So it doesn't have to be something that you're like the most passionate about in life, but it's something that you feel like you can stick to and be consistent with. Because it's really important that you're consistent with whatever you do, because starting out, you might not be able to hit those income goals, within the first 30 days. But give it 3 months, give it 6 months, like keep going and keep trying, because the more consistent you are, the more you're able to establish yourself as an expert in whatever you do. And the easier it becomes to like develop these processes and keep repeating them over and over and over to get clients or customers, depending on if you're doing like a product-based business or a service-based business.
Right, right. I mean, that's a great thing. So you're saying like design, figure out what's priority to you first, and then figure out how to navigate it.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, okay. I want to remind our listeners, if you're picking out some of the nuggets that Quiana is dropping, please hit that like button down there and leave us a comment. We're gonna get more stuff strategically set up so you can actually do a little more interaction with us. But please, if you're enjoying what she's dropping, please, and you're picking it up, hit us that like button down there. So as we get into like a little bit more about the freelance writing stuff, how do you really like hone down your message as to building, like say you're doing your writing for your business, and a lot of people really don't really understand the whole effect of how writing can really be impactful their business. What would you say for those who are stuck on the whole video thing and forgetting about the writing aspect? What would
Yeah.
your advice be on that?
So I think it really goes back to like your marketing strategy, because there's so many different ways that you can write in a business that's going to be beneficial. So one of the things, if you it's called SEO or search engine optimization, is the ability to, when someone types in, let's say you are a lawn care company and you want people to find your business. Well, if you create blog posts about your lawn care company and it gets picked up on Google, and your keyword is I live in Richmond, Virginia. So Richmond, Virginia lawn care company, and you write blog posts including that keyword. Well, when people search for Richmond, Virginia lawn care company, your business is more likely to pop up. So it's that SEO. And the SEO allows you to get organic, which is free traffic to your business. So that's one of the major benefits of like having a blog post. If you look at it another way, which is social media is very video heavy. However, you also want written content for your social media as well, like in the captions and things like that. There are also different ways like email marketing. Email marketing is one of the best ways to connect with your audience and nurture them. So, they come to your website, maybe they're not ready to purchase yet. Well, then you get them on your email list and then you email them over time, different offers or different information about your business. So video is important. We all want to use video in our business. However, the written component is really important, whether you're looking at SEO, whether you're looking at your emails, or whether you're looking at even establishing your expertise. That's another big part of using your writing, which is why people will write blog posts or why people will write like ebooks or books, different things like that. So it's
So what
important
would,
for sure.
I'm like, I'm not a big writer, and let's just say I struggle with. So what is your key tips on saying you want to build up that writing skill? What would you say we really need to focus on?
So if you're a business owner and you want to improve your own writing, I would say to number one, read good writing, like read a lot. So read from people whose writing is actually good, whether it's books, podcasts, or not podcasts, books, blog posts, or whatever it might be. And then just practice. I know that for some people who struggle with writing, but maybe you're a really good speaker, like I'm a better writer than I am a speaker. But some people, they're the other way around. So you can take your writing, or you can take like your voice, use your voice to write. So like if you use Google voice typing, I can't think about what it's called, but you would just say what you want to say and it will type it for you. And so that's a way to get your thoughts out on paper and still have your voice incorporated in your writing and get everything out that you want to say. And then you can go back and you can like edit it and make it look good for writing, like for someone to read it.
Right, right. So I know we really want to get like hone down onto some. What would be your advice, or what's the one thing you really want to leave the audience with as they go forward with whether it's personal or business? What would your advice be?
I would say to just, whatever path you're going down in your life, it is okay to shift. It's okay to change. It's okay to make a different decision. I know sometimes, the belief is once you start something, finish it. And in some situations, that is true. But in some situations, it's okay to start something and realize that it's not working for you and change. Especially if you realize your goals have changed. I know that I had already put in 6.5 years in the classroom before I quit. I put in my bachelor's degree, gotten a master's degree, and I devoted all of this time and attention to becoming a teacher and then a school principal, which was my ultimate goal. And I don't want to say I threw it all away, but I went in a completely different path. And I'm happier now than I was then. And I'm happier now than I think I would have been if I had gone along the path of what I thought was going to be what was best for me. So it was scary to make a change and it was scary to do something different. But I definitely think it paid off. So if you're scared to try something new, I would say give it a shot, because you never know how it'll turn out. It might be great.
Right. I love that advice. And I also, I had another thought. What would you say to those moms who are like thinking, I'm a mom, but I can't have a career? What would your advice be on to that?
I would say then figure out how you can build a career that is not required, that allows you flexibility. That's one of the things I love about being a freelance writer. I write no more than 25 hours a week, so I don't work full time. However, I make a full-time income. And so I was very specific about how I wanted to build my business, because I'm a mom, but I'm also a single parent. And so I feel like I need to be there even more because I am the one parent for my daughter. And so just figure out how you want to craft your business around your lifestyle. So think about what your ideal lifestyle is, and then think about how you can build a business that works for that lifestyle.
Right. Well, those are some great advice and stuff like that. And I want to wrap up. Where can people find more information about you, your services, and what you do, and things you offer?
Yeah, so you can go to my website, quianadarden.com, And on my website, you can learn about both the coaching part, like my program Write for Profit, which is my 6-week group coaching program helping writers launch or grow their writing businesses. But you can also learn about my writing services. You can also visit my Instagram account, which is Quiana A. Darden, and my Facebook page, Quiana A. Darden. Those are both primarily for if you want to learn more about being a freelance writer.
Okay. I really do appreciate you coming on and sharing your wisdom and your insight with us. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I enjoyed being here.
And I would love to have you come back on as a guest. So please consider coming back. We'd love to have you back on.
Yes, for sure. I will.
Thank you. And I also want to remind everybody that all of the feedback is definitely welcome. Emails if you have any guests or show ideas. And all of Quiana's contact information will be posted in the comments. So please make sure you check out that description box down there. There's some good juicy gems down there. And also, if you're enjoying what everyone is sharing and that you're getting some nuggets, like I said, if you're picking up some gems, please hit that like button. Give us some comments down there and below. And if you really want to continue to hear some more of the insights that everybody's sharing, consider hitting that subscribe button over there, please. And as I like to close out, and I always like to say, take things in stride, go with the flow, and create your own path. And we'll see you back here on another episode of Coffee with Tea. So bye-bye for now. Share with us, what was one of your takeaways from today's show? Post your answers in the comments.